Hello everyone, my name is Devashish Roy. I'm the head of training and development at the Indian Cybersecurity Solution, and I welcome you all to this special webinar today. And today's topic is a very important one for AWS security, that is AWS WAF, that is a web application firewall, and Shield for DDoS protection. So DDoS is a distributed denial of service attack. So we will learn what is the DDoS and what is the difference between the DOS and the DDoS attack in the network, and what is the web application firewall, and also the firewall in general. So let's begin. So we'll explore the benefits and configuration of AWS Web Application Firewall and Shield for effective DDoS protection. So what is a DDoS attack? That is the distributed denial of service. Now, DOS attack or the denial of service attack means that if you are going to say, send a lot of packet to one PC, say from one PC, you are sending a packet, say thousands or lakhs of packets to other PC, say a server, that is a DOS attack. But in the DOS attack, you are using only one PC. But in the distributed denial of service attack, it is a bunch of PC or a group of PC you are using. So when a group of PC is attacking one PC, so that is a DDoS attack. And it is very difficult to protect the PC from that attack because it is actually you are using other PCs to attack other. That is the one PC. That is the victim is the one PC and the attacker are many. That is the DDoS attack. Now to protect this, you need a technology like the firewall. And firewalls protect you from the attack or any other unauthorized access, as we know. And there are many types of firewall, like the application firewall, like the application proxy, that is a proxy firewall that can be installed on the proxy server. Like you are connected to the internet and there is a proxy server. So what you can do, you can actually install this firewall on the proxy server, and then all the pieces of the LAN of the internal network will get protected from the outside attack. Or what you can do, you can build a DMZ, that is a demilitarized zone, that is a very secure network where we keep the different servers or the DNS server, DHCP server, routers there, and you can have firewalls on both sides. Say from the internal network, you can protect that DMZ, also from the outside network. But here we have something that is known as web application firewall. So that is a very advanced firewall, and that is used to protect the server, there is a cloud server for the web attack. So what is AWS WAF and Shield? Web Application Firewall and AWS Shield are crucial for safeguarding the web applications against a variety of threats and attacks, with a particular focus on DDoS attacks. And the services provide customizable solutions that enhance security and ensure resilience in cloud environments. So as we know, in cloud security, this DDoS attack or DOS attack is a major problem. And for this, you have to build this firewall, you have to build the load balancer also. Yes, for the load balancer, what it does that it distributes the loads among the multiple S3 instances or the multiple targets, as we know, and it prevents your server from getting attacked. So the server will not absorb the attack. The load will be distributed among the multiple instances. So you cannot have the DOS or DDoS attacks very common nowadays. It was common before, but nowadays it is not. So you have to understand the DDoS attacks now. What is the definition of DDoS attack? DDoS attack aims to make a service unavailable by overwhelming it with traffic from multiple sources and making it difficult for legitimate users to access the service. That I was telling you, that multiple PCs are going to attack a single PC, and it will overwhelm the PC with, say, like you are seeing this picture, like a cloud burst. There is a lot of rain is falling, like that overwhelming rain. It is like the DDoS attack there. Types of DDoS attacks: volumetric attacks involve massive amount of traffic to consume bandwidth, like you are sending an ICMP request, the ping request, lakhs of ping requests you are, say, sending, while protocol attacks exploit weaknesses in network protocols, and application layer attacks target the application itself. So you need application layer firewall there to prevent that attack, focusing on specific web requests. So there are some stateful and stateless firewalls, as we know. Now, stateful firewalls, they actually keep the log. So whenever the traffic passes through that firewall, it keeps the log and it records activities. But stateless firewalls, no. You have to make the firewall rules again and again. Impact of DDoS attacks, the consequence of a successful DDoS attack include service downtime, definitely that will be network outage, loss of revenue due to unavailability, say your web server is down or file server or email server is down, definitely you will have a financial loss and potential long-term damage to brand reputation and customer trust. So to prevent all these attacks, you have to go for the AWS Web Application Firewall. So Web Application Firewall is designed to protect web application from a variety of threats, including the SQL injection attack and cross-site scripting attack. So all these are the attacks that you have to prevent it from the firewall perspective. With its customizable security rules, users can filter and monitor web traffic, effectively enhancing overall application. So if somebody is trying to tamper with your SQL table or database with some malicious code, some commands, you have to just protect it from that, or any such scripting attacks also you have to protect it from this firewall. Now, what are the key features of AWS WAF? Customizable security rules. So you have to make your own rules. There are some customizable rules that you can deploy. So every firewall has some rules, some inbound rules, that is the traffic that is coming inbound to your network, and outbound rules, like somebody is trying to go outside of your network, somebody is trying to say do the HTTP traffic, say browse the web, you can prevent it. That is the outside or outbound rule. Real-time traffic monitoring, definitely that is a very important part. That is the logging that I was talking about in stateful firewall. Integration with AWS services. Now let's come to the overview of the AWS Shield. So this web application firewall and Shield, they are both combined in the AWS. AWS Shield is designed to enhance the security of applications on AWS by providing robust protection against the distributed denial of service attacks like the WAF, and with its automatic detection and the mitigation capabilities, it ensures that minimum disruption happens in the network. The outage, the network outage or the downtime is almost zero, and maintains application availability during an attack. Now, what are the key features of AWS Shield? There is automatic DDoS attack protection, real-time threat intelligence and monitoring, global network infrastructure, because AWS has different AZ availability zone and regions all over the world. They have different data centers, so it is definitely global network. Integration with AWS different services like the VPC, like the EC2, different services, customized security policies. Now, how AWS Web Application Firewall and Shield work together. So first of all, Web Application Firewall, that is there to filter the malicious traffic. That is the job of the firewall. Because firewall acts as a customizable web application that inspects incoming traffic that I was telling you based on user-defined rules. So you have to define the rules, and in case of stateful firewall, the rule is defined and the firewall actually is there to monitor all the activities. And in case of stateless, you have to define the rules again and again. It allows for filtering and blocking of requests that may be harmful, such as that attacks like a injection attack or cross-site scripting attack, thereby providing a layer of protection against the network vulnerabilities. That is the firewall thing. And the AWS Shield, that is also the DDoS protection. AWS Shield complements WAF by providing automatic DDoS protection against the large-scale attacks. Now, if somebody is compromising your network with large-scale attack, they are using a lot of or a bunch of or a group of PC, that is a DDoS attack. For that, you have to deploy the AWS Shield. It detects and mitigates DDoS attacks in real time, ensuring that application availability is there even during significant traffic spikes. Now, traffic spikes means that when the large volume of traffic is coming in, when there is a surge in the traffic, in that time also the network outage is minimum. This collaboration enhances overall security and minimizes downtime due to external threat. Now, what are the best practices for DDoS protection? First of all, you have to enable the AWS Shield for automatic protection, and enabling AWS Shield provides the baseline protection. That is the basic protection you have to enable against DDoS attacks without additional configuration. So this is the minimum or the basic configuration that you have to make. And Shield standard automatically applies to all AWS services, and it ensures the applications are shielded from common attack at no extra cost. Use AWS WF for custom rules or customizable rules. Utilizing AWS Web Application Firewall allows users to define specific rules tailored to their specific application needs. Now, if you have the need to block a specific support like that, or if you have some specific, say, target IP address or source IP set that we say in AWS that you can do. This level of customization helps to block harmful traffic while allowing legitimate requests to pass through and reducing the risk of application downtime. Now, in case of the firewall, as you know, and in case of load balancer also, like you are using the ping, that ping request load balancers will not distribute, but it will distribute the other, say, traffic like the HTTP, like that you can do. Monitor traffic patterns also. Regularly monitoring traffic patterns helps identify unusual spikes in data, that is a surge in the data in activity that could indicate an impending attack. That somebody is trying to send you a large volume of traffic, large volume of ISMB requests that you can pretend. Adjusting rules based on these insights enhances the overall security of your network and ensures that the application remains resilient and always you are prepared to prevent those attacks. Now, what are the case studies and success stories? Real world applications of AWS WAF and Shield demonstrates their effectiveness in DDoS protection. Like this company A, experienced a significant reduction in downtime 90% after implementing AWS WAF and Shield. So, if you can achieve that amount of, say, performance, it showcases the effectiveness of these tools in maintaining application availability. And another company, let's say company B, successfully mitigated a large-scale DDoS attack using AWS Shield and highlighting the importance of proactive DDoS protection in safeguarding the services. So these are definitely effective measures that you have to implement in your cloud security environment. Now we can conclude that AWS WAF and Shield are essential tools that work in tandem to safeguard web applications against DDoS attacks. So both are actually working together. It is not a separate tool. Their integration not only provides robust security, but also enhances overall resilience of online services, because as we know, the security is paramount to the cloud. And in cloud security, in any security, AWS or any other cloud security, these firewall and this shield, they work together to make your network a very secure one. So this is about the theoretical discussion about the AWS WAF and the Shield. And I can take you to the console also. This is my AWS console that you can see. And here, if I click on this WAF and Shield, you can also just go to the search and you can search AWS Web Application Firewall and Shield, and you'll see that this picture will pop up here. So this is the one, AWS WAF first of all, and then you have the AWS Shield that you can see. So here you have to go to the documentation. You can see the pricing also, and pricing is not much. And also the benefits and features like agile protection against the web attacks, everything that I have already explained to you, all these things are there. So you can also go through this. There's a complete documentation of this services. AWS Shield Advanced is also there. AWS Kinesis to store logs of requests, analyzed by web ACLs to do further analysis. You can go to this. AWS Firewall Manager, CloudWatch to actually monitor the activities or collect the logs for monitoring purpose that you can also go for. Now you can go for this web and create web ACL. That is the main part. The web ACL actually gives you the ability to do the, you can say, the start the web application firewall. Now you can go for this general resources, that is application load balancers, Amazon API gateway, REST API, all these things, because you have to protect these resources actually. And you can go for any region, let's say Asia Pacific, Tokyo region, and you can give a name. Just give a meaningful name. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And description is optional. And you have to add the AWS resources. Now that is optional, but you have to add it. Like first of all, you have to create an application load balancer, or others are API based services. But here I'm not running any application load balancer for now. But let's say you have connected different EC2 instances to the application load balancer. So you have to click on this application load balancer and then you have to give the name, because otherwise How will you protect the resources? You will deploy this AWS Web Application Firewall for protecting some resources. So for that, you have to associate the resource here. Now click on next, and here you go for the rules, add rules and rule groups. So you can add the rule. You can add manage rule groups, means the predefined rule, or add my own rules. So here, if you add your own rules, the very important part, or the most important part, is this one, IP set. So you have to define IP set, means IP address to use as the originating address, source address, that is IP set. Say you have to give a name, ISS address 1234, and IP set you have to choose. Now nothing is coming because the firewall is not active, and if you have activated it, then definitely your source network will come. And let's say 10.0.0.0, and not only one PC, you have to specify a group of network because it's a network part. So we can give the CIDR value like 10.0.0.0/8 or /10, that way. Source IP address, you have to specify. Action is block, allow, or count, all these things. So you can add rules, but yes, your IP set is required. So you have to first build the IP set, you have to just activate the firewall, and then you can do. So in your production environment, you can do this, but not in this one PC. But in the production one, you can have a group of, say, PCs or a network. Then you have to provide the network ID here, or the IP set that I was talking about. Now again, you go back to the web ACL. So you have to create the web ACL that way to actually protect your network, and you have to associate with the, say, the application load balancer or any other API gateways to protect it from the outside attack. Now apart from this, there is something that is known as the bot control. That is the, like, you have deployed a chatbot, so there also you can protect the chatbot from the vulnerability or outside attack that you can also see. There are a lot of things that you have to explore, or you can deploy it in the production environment only, not in a single PC, or you can say IP sets here. So you can create an IP set that I was talking about. Here you have to give the IP set name, and then that IP set should be in the same region IPv4. So these addresses, like these are the predefined addresses that you can have, like 10.0.0.0 and say /8 or something like that, and you have to create that IP set. So this is the IP set that you have to use in your network. And now I can go to the, again I go back to the web ACL actually, and I can create a web ACL here. I can give a name. Next, add rules. You add your rules and click on the IP set, and here you can see the IP set is now coming. And now you add the rule, and name is again so here it is the capacity, everything, the action is blocked. So any request from that application load balance will be blocked or allowed. So default action, allow, or you can say block. Next, rule priority, so you have to select it and click on next. And again, you can implement it with Amazon CloudWatch metrics also. So these things you can enable, but I'm not enabling it right now because it will not work, or it will not give you any result, because you can say that the application load balance is not running there, so it will not give you any output. But you have to enable it this way. So this is IP set, and you can also delete the IP set after getting it, because you are not using it right now. So every resource, as you know, it should be deleted, because otherwise the AWS will charge you for that. And also these are the some regex pattern, that is like the programming part, rule group. So there are a lot of things that you can actually set. And this is AWS Shield, that is the dashboard of the AWS Shield. So AWS Shield and the AWS Web Application Firewall, it is the almost the same thing here, but a bit different. You can have the dashboard here, but nothing is shown here because it is not the production environment. Again, you cannot have that type of activity here. Or you can add the resources, you can explore, you can start network analysis, you can find the network security analysis, understand your network security. So you have to monitor, you have to just click on the start network analysis. So network security analysis in progress, as you can see, but it will generate a lot of traffic and you have to make sure that you disable it, because otherwise it will be chargeable. So in a production environment you have to do this. And here it will not actually show you anything much, because there is no such instance running or anything running there. So no resources there, but only this is say resources most severe composite findings severities. It hasn't found anything because nothing is running. But if anything is running, like this is to security groups, network SCL, because no instance is running. So only it has found these ports like RDP, remote desktop protocol, SSH, these ports, but actually there is no resource running in it. So these are the things. Again, you have the AWS Firewall Manager. With this is included. This is a new thing that I'm saying. The AWS Firewall Manager is actually there. That will give you some ability to do the security policies. So you can add the security policies, that is additional feature. And you can get started with this. You can also have the AWS organization, but I think it is not registered for this right now, because every service it is not free. So you have to create an organization first, and some services paid. So create an organization, those account. So all these things you have to create. And to do these firewalls, to use this firewall, actually you have to add this count. And then you can successfully create an AWS organization. And then if you go back, and you will see, I think the firewall, it should come policies. And here you can see that all the policies are not enabled, all are disabled. So you have to create the organization first that you have already created. And there you can go to the settings, you can see the organization in detail, and then you have to create the policies in the firewall. So again, I can search the web, and there's a firewall manager that you can see. And you have to go to the security policies. So here, create administrator account. So again, you have to create some accounts. So I think it is not fully free or something like that. So although you have created an organization, but again, it's asking you to create an admin account and like that. So you have to create admin account. Already we are having the root user, but first administrator account that you create is a default administrator. And again, you have to give the account ID. So I think it may be that I have to copy this also. Let me try. But operation is invalid. So I think this is my ID. Or anyway, I think every service is not available here for this moment. So because the firewall is not running and it is not registered, so every action we cannot perform, because I have copied my account ID also, but it is not taking it for now. So anyway, but we have learned the different policies and how to create the organization, how to create the resource set. Again, the resource set is the same thing, like you have to actually add the resources there. So an application list there, whatever the applications you are running. Again, every time is asking for the admin account. So you have to make an admin account separately for that, and you have to go to the documentation, you have to read that. So whatever they're asking for you to do about the admin account, because already I have one root user, but they're asking for some other accounts and protocol list that you have to do. So a lot of things are there. So it is a lot of things that you have to study, you have to read. So first of all, make a plan. First of all, study these things individually, and then go for the practicals. And you can only perform the practicals, and you can show the results in the production environment, not in one PC. Because in one PC, like here, if you are doing it on the cloud, now AWS definitely is not going to allow you to test these things on their PC, on their S2 instances. It is not possible. So only in a production environment, in a live environment, it is possible to see the resource logs. Like you are deploying a VPN. Now, can you see the traffic flows there? You can capture with the Wireshark, but fully to fully manage or to fully study the traffic flow, you have to do it in the production environment. So that way. So anyway, these are the different options that you have, that we have explored, and this is a very powerful framework for the cloud security level in the AWS. Is AWS Firewall Manager, AWS Shield, Network Security Director, this thing, AWS Shield, and AWS Web Application Firewall. So all these things are integrated in the AWS environment, and it is making your cloud security posture very robust one. So you can have the VPC, you can have the application load balancer or the network load balancer in your network, and all all these activities should be monitored, logged into this firewall. So this is, I think, about the discussion that we have today for the web application firewall and shield for DDoS protection. I have told you about the attacks, what are the attacks we can have in the cloud, and why the cloud security is very important, paramount towards the network security nowadays, because network security and cloud security is integrated. So you cannot say that cloud security is a separate one and the network security is separate one. No, because the network security, you have this firewall. This firewall is a part of the network security, but it has got involved in the cloud security nowadays. Like the Palo Alto firewall, the Checkpoint, those firewalls, and also this AWS firewalls. Also, Cisco has the next generation firewalls. So all these things are the part of the network security. But in the cloud also, we can see that the resources are migrated to the cloud. Now the controllers, the router switches are migrated to the cloud. Also the firewalls. So this is very important, this WAF and Shield for DDoS protection and any other attack in the AWS security and the cloud security environment. And I think many of you may be studying for the cloud security certifications, like the cloud security, the security specialty, or the advanced networking specialization. These are a very important topic for that, especially for the AWS cloud security specialization. And also for the basic, there is AWS solution architect associate certification also, because these are the parts that is there in the AWS, the solution architect associate also, because solution architect combines everything, and not say in a great detail any topic, but it covers everything. And in security purpose, security specialty, it actually focuses on specific topics, the firewall topics, say for example, in great detail. So this is about the AWS WAF and Shield for DDoS protection topic for now, for today. And I hope that you have got an immense knowledge on this from this webinar. And I again thank you for watching and join this webinar once again. And I have a good news for you. There is a contest going on with this webinar. There is a questionnaire. The link is available with this webinar, and the questionnaire you can access. And if you give, say, for example, 8 out of 10 correct entries, correct answers, then you are eligible for the certificate. And I urge everybody to go for it right now, because it will be very valuable for your career also to get a certificate. So that is all I have for you today about this topic on AWS Cloud Security on Web Application Firewall and Shield for the DDoS protection and Firewall Manager. So there are different cloud security topics we'll be discussing in each day. And that is all I have time for you today about this topic. I will come with some new topic next time. Till then, keep studying and bye.